Somewhere in a quiet European forest, half buried in mud and time, lies a rusted rifle. No one knows who held it last, but its story, if we listen closely, still echoes through the decades. This isn't just a weapon. It's a memory frozen in steel, of fear, courage, and survival. It was found by a local farmer in the 1970s, deep in the Ardennes. The serial numbers were barely legible, the wood cracked and faded, but researchers traced it back to a soldier who never returned home. The rifle belonged to a young infantryman from the 99th Division. Letters in his pocket told of home, of a sweetheart, of a promise to come back for Christmas. He never did. Decades later, that rifle was the only clue left. No medals, no uniform tags, just rust and silence. But for historians, even silence can speak. The spot where it was found matched maps of a fierce winter battle. Artillery fire had rained for hours. The soldier's unit had been cut off, surrounded. He must have fallen right there, the rifle slipping from his frozen hands. Each scratch on the weapon told its own story, of struggle, of exhaustion, of chaos. To many, it was just a relic, but to others, it was a voice from the past. Conservators cleaned it gently, preserving its scars. They didn't want to erase the war, only to stop time from erasing the story. Even the fingerprints left in the steel grip had been preserved by corrosion. The farmer's grandson still keeps a photo of that rifle. He says it reminds him of how fragile peace can be, and how close history really is. In every rusted mark, he sees the outline of a man's final moment. Thousands of such relics remain buried under soil and water. Each one holds a fragment of someone's life, a day that never ended. We often speak of generals, victories, and strategies, but history lives in what's left behind: a helmet, a watch, a rusted rifle. Time doesn't destroy everything, it transforms it. The rifle's rust is a kind of poetry, metal decaying, but meaning enduring. Through it, we glimpse the human cost behind the numbers and names. We remember not just who fought, but who was lost. Every artifact is a thread, connecting us back to the people who lived, breathed, and feared. Without these relics, war becomes just statistics. But hold a rusted rifle in your hands, and you remember it was carried by someone who once hoped to live. The rifle now sits in a small museum in Liège. No label mentions the soldier's name, only a plaque. Found in the Ardennes, 1945. May we never forget. Visitors stop, pause, and stare, not because it's grand, but because it's human. Maybe that's what this rifle teaches us, that history isn't just in books or battles, but in quiet things left behind. The rust speaks of time, the steel speaks of endurance, and silence speaks of sacrifice. So next time you see an old relic, don't just see metal, see memory. Because even rusted steel, when it once meant survival, can still tell a story worth remembering.